Hi students, this is Mrs. Dixon. This is just a little mini video to talk you through this independent activity that you're doing in math. We talked yesterday about fraction sums. We talked about improper fractions and mixed numbers and things like that. And so we're going to continue to talk about that, and you're going to get the opportunity to model in improper fractions or fractions greater than 1 and mixed numbers. So I thought I would step you through the first couple so that you could then try on your own. So here we go. If you take a look up here, it says try this. Choose the appropriate fraction square pieces to model the problem. Draw and color the fraction parts on the squares shown, and then write the fraction and mixed number below. So we're going to try, they have an example for you, which is always nice, but we're going to try number 1 together. 3 halves. So I have to draw 3 halves. So I need to cut my squares into half. And then I'm going to model 3 halves. So I'm going to use my highlighter. I like doing that. 1 half, 2 halves, 3 halves. So this represents 3 halves up here. Now is the tricky part. I need to write this as a fraction. I'm going to switch back to my pencil. I know my top number is 3 because I see it right up here, 3. And I have 3 pieces shaded. So I'm going to write 3 in. And then my numerator, so my top number is a numerator, and my bottom number is a denominator. And my denominator, if we remember from yesterday, is the total parts that the whole has been cut into. And in this case, the total parts the whole has been cut into is 2. I also know that half means 2. So my fraction is 3 over 2. A numerator of 3 and a denominator of 2. Now I have to make this into a mixed number. Well, if I look up here, I have one whole one shaded in. So that is one whole. So I would write my one whole down. Then I have 1/2 shaded. So that's what I have left. So I need to draw a fraction bar, and my numerator is 1, because I have 1 of the half left, and then my denominator, it stays the same. There's 2 parts in this whole. So my mixed number is 1 and 1/2. Now, I know I was talking with my students yesterday about like one whole. If I have one whole and I cut it in half, I have 2 halves. If I have one whole and I cut it into fourths, I would have 4 fourths. So like if I draw a model down here and I draw I have 4 fourths. I haven't taken any away. So that's something to think about. We're going to try another problem together. I'm going to pick a more challenging problem. I'm going to try this one, 11 tenths. 11 tenths. So I first have to draw these squares into tenths. If it was me, I would cut it in half, and then I would make 5 bars this way, because 2 times 5 is 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to try to get as even as you can. I know it might be challenging to get even. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to shade 11 tenths. I like using the highlighter, because I don't trace over everything, there's 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, 10/10. I need one more tenth. That'll make 11/10. Now, if I'm going to write this as a fraction, I go back to my pencil, draw my fraction bar. My denominator is right here. It's the tenths part of this. Tenths means 10. So I've cut my whole into 10 pieces. So that's my denominator. My numerator is 11 because I have 11 shaded pieces. I have more than one whole because I shaded in a whole, one whole, and then I have a little bit left, 1/10 left to be exact. So if I'm going to write this fraction as a mixed number, I have one whole and I have 1/10 left. So I can write it one whole and 1/10. This can be challenging because really we're doing advanced math when we're converting a fraction or an improper fraction, which the definition of that is when the numerator is larger than the denominator. I know I have more than one. It's a fraction greater than one. And a mixed number is a whole number with a fraction. So those are challenging concepts. I want you to try on your own. The models really help, so do not skip drawing the models. And when you come to the teacher table, you're going to get more practice with this, so just keep that in mind. Good luck.